Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. And today we're going to try to break down how to build a killer digital marketing strategy.
Okay.
But we're going to do it in sort of a roundabout way. We're going to take a look at the career of Roger Sikes,
Okay.
who has had a very long career in the digital marketing world.
Awesome.
So we have his resume here in front of us, ready to sort of break down and see what we can learn.
Okay, yeah. This will be fun.
And we also have some data on why digital marketing is so crucial in today's business world. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
One of the first things that jumps out at me when looking at Roger's resume is that his career goes all the way back to 2000.
Wow.
That's like over 2 decades of experience in this world.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, he's really seen it all, right? From like the very beginning of, the internet as we know it to like, what we're dealing with today.
Yeah. It's like he's witnessed the entire evolution of this thing.
Definitely. And that kind of perspective, that long-term view, I mean, that's really valuable, especially in a field that changes as rapidly as digital marketing does.
It's true. I mean, think about it. Back in 2000, what was digital marketing even like?
Oh, man. You're talking about the days of like dial-up internet and those really basic websites.
And email lists.
Yes. Email lists were like the big thing back then.
And Roger was right there in the thick of it.
That's right.
Managing email lists for companies like Best Pro Shops.
It's funny to think about now, right? Like getting an email from a brand was still kind of a novelty back then.
It's true. I mean, people actually look forward to those emails.
I did. And it was before all the fancy automation tools we have today.
Yeah, you really had to get creative with subject lines and really craft your message to make an impact.
You really did. But you know what? A lot of those foundational principles still apply today. Even with all the technological advancements, it still comes down to building genuine connections with your audience.
Absolutely. Building relationships, providing value, that's timeless.
Totally agree.
And as the internet evolved, well, so did Roger.
Makes sense. He had to adapt. Right.
Right. He moved into roles that focused on paid search and lead generation.
Okay, now we're talking. That's where things start to get really interesting, especially for businesses that are looking to scale.
Well, think about it. As more and more consumers shifted their activity online, businesses suddenly had to figure out how to reach them in this new digital landscape.
Exactly. And that's where paid search and lead generation became so crucial.
It became all about figuring out how to target the right audience with the right message at the right time.
And how to convert those online visitors into actual paying customer.
Right. Customer acquisition became the name of the game. And Roger was right there, mastering this new frontier.
And you know what's really impressive? It's not just about understanding the tactics, it's about managing budgets and demonstrating results. Look, at Milo, he was responsible for a $4 million annual budget. And then at SelectQuote, that number jumped from $3 million to $10 million.
Okay, that's not messing around. We're talking serious money here.
Serious money. And that kind of responsibility, that pressure to deliver a return on investment, that's a whole other level.
It shows that he knows how to handle the big bucks and actually get results. Which brings us to another crucial aspect of digital marketing. Data. Data analysis.
Oh, yeah, the data game. You can't escape it.
You can't. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And Roger's experience really highlights its importance.
Definitely. Take his role at Elite Insurance Partners, for instance. He led a whole team focused on building reports and dashboards for data-driven decision-making. They were even using data to help their sales teams identify bottlenecks and improve their efficiency.
Okay, so this wasn't just about collecting data for the sake of it. They were actually using it to drive real business outcomes.
Absolutely, and that's what makes data so powerful. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about turning those numbers into actionable insights that can actually move the needle for your business.
Right. It's about understanding what's working, what's not, and how to optimize your campaigns for a maximum impact.
You got it. And without data, you're basically just guessing. You're flying blind.
It's like trying to navigate a maze in the dark.
Exactly. You need that data to light the way.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Roger's background.
Right.
But, what can we as listeners, what can we actually take away from all this?
Yeah, that's the important part, right? Like, how can we apply these insights to our own businesses?
Exactly. So, like, whether we're just starting out or, we've been doing this for a while, what can we learn from Roger's journey?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that stands out to me is the importance of having a holistic approach to digital marketing.
Holistic, okay.
Yeah, It's not enough to just focus on one aspect of digital marketing. Like, you can't just do SEO or just run paid ads and expect to get amazing results.
Right.
You need to understand how all the pieces fit together. SEO, content creation, paid advertising, email marketing, social media, data analysis, all of it.
It's like an ecosystem.
Exactly. Everything's connected. And Roger's career really demonstrates that.
Okay, so can you give us an example of how he did that?
Sure. Like, take his work at SelectQuote. He didn't just manage their paid search campaigns. He actually created a whole lead monetization program that squeezed out an extra 5% return on those ad buys.
5%.
Yeah, that's huge.
So he was thinking beyond just getting the leads. He was thinking about how to maximize the value of those leads.
Exactly. And that requires a deep understanding of the entire customer journey, from the moment someone first interacts with your brand to the moment they make a purchase.
Wow. Okay. So it's all about understanding the big picture.
It really is. And another thing that really impressed me about Roger's career is his focus on data-driven decision-making. It's like a theme that runs through everything he's done.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier with his work at Elite Insurance Partners, right?
Yes, that's a perfect example. Whether he was managing those huge budgets at Milo or optimizing sales processes at Elite, he always relied on data to guide his decisions. And that's something that any business, no matter how big or small, can benefit from.
Okay, so for someone who, maybe isn't a data scientist, how can they start incorporating this data-driven approach into their marketing?
Well, the first step is to figure out what metrics are actually important for your business. What are you trying to achieve? More website traffic, more leads, more sales.
Okay, your goals.
Exactly. And once you know what your goals are, you can start tracking the data that will help you measure your progress.
So don't just randomly try different tactics.
No, track everything, measure your results, and then use that data to make adjustments to your strategy.
It's like having a constant feedback loop, right?
Right. You're constantly learning and refining your approach. And that brings me to another important takeaway from Roger's career: adaptability.
Ah, yes. The ability to change with the times.
Exactly. Digital marketing is constantly evolving. What worked a few years ago might not work today. So you need to be willing to learn new skills, experiment with new platforms, and just be open to trying new things.
So, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
Definitely not. Roger is a great example of that. At Milo, he didn't just manage the digital marketing side, he also collaborated with the sales team to implement a whole new sales system.
Wow, so he was really involved in all aspects of the business.
He was, and that kind of cross-functional collaboration is so important. Marketing and sales shouldn't operate in silos.
They need to work together.
They absolutely do, because ultimately, they're both working towards the same goal: growing the business.
Okay, makes sense.
And then there's his work at Elite Insurance Partners, where he used data to identify bottlenecks in their sales process and actually reduce the amount of time their sales teams were spending on the phone by 30%.
30%. That's a lot of time saved.
It is, and that's the power of data-driven decision-making. It can help you make your entire business more efficient and more profitable, too.
Wow. So Roger's not just a digital marketing expert. He's like a problem solver, a strategist.
He really is. And his career shows that digital marketing is so much more than just knowing how to use certain tools or platforms. It's about having a certain mindset, a way of thinking that embraces experimentation, continuous learning, and a relentless focus on results.
Yeah, so, thinking back on everything we've looked at, there are just so many great examples to choose from.
There really are.
But one that I think really stands out, especially for anyone who's just starting out with their business, is his work with email marketing at Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah.
It's easy to dismiss email as old school.
Yeah, especially in today's world with TikTok and Instagram and all that.
Exactly. But Roger's success with it shows that email marketing can still be a really effective way to connect with your audience and build a relationship.
It's like a tried and true method that still works. It really is. And then, as your business grows, you need to start thinking about how to reach a wider audience, how to really scale things up.
Right.
And for that, his experience with paid search and lead generation is invaluable.
It's essential knowledge for anyone who's serious about growing their business online.
Absolutely. Understanding how to target the right people with the right message at the right time, that's crucial.
Definitely.
And then, of course, once you start managing bigger teams and bigger budgets, well, that's where his experience at Milo and SelectQuote comes in.
Right. He was dealing with millions of dollars there.
He was. And that takes a whole different level of strategic planning and, just overall know-how.
It's like a masterclass in how to scale your marketing efforts
It
effectively.
really is. And then, of course, there's the whole data analysis piece.
Ah, yes. Data. We can't forget about data.
We can't. And Roger's career really emphasizes just how important data is for any successful digital marketing strategy.
It's like the secret weapon that allows you to see what's working and what's not.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it. You can actually see what's resonating with your audience, what's driving results, and then use that information to make smarter decisions.
So even if you're not a data scientist, you can still benefit from using data.
Absolutely. You don't need to be an expert to start tracking your key metrics and using that data to make small, incremental improvements to your strategy.
It's like those little tweaks that can make a big difference over time.
Exactly. And the great thing is, there are so many resources available now to help you learn about data analysis. There are online courses, books, even free tools that can get you started.
Awesome. So, around where you are in your digital marketing journey, there's always something you can learn from Roger's career.
There really is.
I mean, his experience shows us that digital marketing isn't just about knowing how to use certain tools or platforms.
Yeah.
It's about having a certain mindset, a way of thinking that embraces experimentation, continuous learning, and always focusing on results.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think that just about wraps things up for this deep dive.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of ground.
We did. So to all of our listeners out there, I hope you found this insightful and maybe even a little inspiring.
Me too.
Remember, digital marketing is a constantly evolving field. So stay curious, keep learning, and never be afraid to try new things.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into your amazing digital marketing career.
That would be awesome.
Until then, keep on diving deep.
And we'll see you next time.